Welcome everybody to the first SDR messaging break and build. I'm super excited to have everybody on the call. We had over 100 registrants on the call, and Ryan and I are super excited. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us about yourself and what brings you on the call.
Yeah, thanks for having me today, David. This is exciting, first session here. A little bit about myself. I've spent the last 10 years in software sales, San Francisco Bay Area. Started as a lead generation specialist. Now we call them SDRs, and worked my way up through to running a sales team. I've started a recruiting firm in San Francisco, and then most recently, after my, third company where I was leading sales had a nice exit, I decided to start a company called Inside Sales Bootcamp, which we've recently merged with Sales Bootcamp with the goal of making sales great again. So thanks for having me on the show today.
Nice, man. So I'm really excited that you could be here because you actually work with people that want to become SDRs or people that are changing careers and they want to get into the sales development space to help them specifically with learning messaging, learning tools, learning the processes. And I was like, Ryan is the perfect guy to do this. I appreciate you coming on and everybody for taking the time today. My name is David Dulany. I run a company called Tenbound, and I work with sales development leaders and sales development reps to get their programs up and running or get them on track. And Chris Kennard, yay, Tenbound. Hey, what's up, Chris? All right. So let's dive in. So Ryan and I wanted to make this just a super quick, learning experience for everybody. Instead of scrolling through Facebook on lunch, we could get a few tidbits that you could take back and use, hopefully to get some more meetings. We got a bunch of submissions to look at the messaging, and we chose 5 or 6 messages that we could look at. Chat about. If you've got comments, put them in the comment box, and we'll try to get through all those in the 30 minutes that we have. And hopefully, take a few tips that you can take back and grab some more meetings today. So appreciate everybody joining us. Ryan, why don't we dive in? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we've got it hopefully not as blurry as it was before. And so folks can see this. What we got here, Ryan, is one of the submissions that you gave me. It's an outbound message to folks who are reaching out on the agency side. So they're trying to find whoever handles the online review management for agencies. So what do we got here? Let's walk us through this email and see where we can break it down and build it up.
Sure, that sounds great. Let's go ahead and read it so that we can get the messaging out there. I think one thing that I always try to make sure my reps do is read back their emails once they've crafted them, just to make sure that it sounds the way that it sounded in their head. So that's kind of tip one. A lot of folks will write emails, and then when you read them, you have a difficult time understanding what they were trying to say. So we're going to start there today. So this was the subject line, appropriate person, morning. I'm trying to get in touch with the person that handles online review management at your agency. I'm Bob, and I'm the founder of RCP. We currently help agencies like yours help their clients gain more positive reviews on Google and Facebook. In fact, I created RCP because my agency needed to better support our clients. Now I am hoping I can help you and your agency with better managing online reviews for your clients. If increasing your clients' online reviews and spending less time doing it is of interest to you, when could we schedule 10 to 15 minutes to chat? I look forward to hearing from you. So let's go ahead and look at the components of this email and break it down, as you said here, David. So the first thing that we want to talk about, and I think folks will have questions about, is personalization versus kind of templates now, or semi-personalization. Across the board, it makes a lot of sense to try to personalize our messaging as much as possible, but we know that we can't, we're not going to personalize every single piece of our message to everyone we go after. So right out the gate, the idea of morning, And I know this might have had the person's name in there before, David, but for the purposes of this email, we want to make sure that we're calling out the person's name, right? So personalize by showing that you have the person's name and not just put hello or hi or hey. Right away, people are going to realize that that's marketing automation and not sales. So ensure that you're actually inserting the person's name out the gate here. So that's an easy piece of personalization that goes a long way, right? That's an easy part. Now we're going to get into the framework of this email. I'm going to go to a few pieces of feedback that I give my students or fellows in our program all the time, whether this is email, voicemail, or phone conversations. We have a couple tests we want to pass. The first is the so what test. What that means is all of our messaging needs to pass the ability, like after we say something, say so what? And like, so what's the purpose of that? What's the purpose of what we're saying? And if it doesn't pass this so what test, perhaps we can eliminate even using that in our messaging, because the more concise our messaging is, the higher likelihood of it resonating with the person we're going after who's crazy busy and getting through to them. So what? The other piece is what's in it for me? What's in it for the person you're talking to? Can you, again, personalize this message to a problem that you can solve for them, an issue that they're having, or maybe just catching them on some fun way to trigger their information, showing that there's something in it for them. Okay, so what? What's in it for me? And there's another one that we can go to too that's like why you now? So it's kind of in that same framework. So I'm going to reference that as we go through our emails today. Maybe I'll have some feedback on yours as well, but we'll just put that into perspective.
I want to talk about that too, because when I was looking at this one, Ryan, the first thing that came out to me was the subject line, which is appropriate person. And then it starts initially with an ask. So I'm trying to get in touch with the person who handles. And it's like, why I'm sitting there as, the person who got this email wondering, I don't even know Bob. I've never heard of RCP. I've never interacted with this person before. So why would I want to go out of my way to help them get in touch with somebody at my company? Is that something that you kind of felt when you looked at this?
Yeah, that's right. So that's why I wanted to get into the so what, right? And what's in it for me. Mm-hmm. To start your messaging with, I'm trying, this is about me. It's not about you. How can we reframe this message in a way that tries to provide some sort of bit of an introduction? You need that, but get right into what's in it for them, right? So if we moved out that I'm trying to get in touch with this person from the top and maybe start with the introduction, hey, I'm Bob at RCP, and we're talking about the problem, the help that we're providing, and the fact that the reason why they created it, that might be a better structure in this email messaging to get to the why you now, or the what's in it for me, and eliminate the fact of someone saying, I don't care about you out the gate, right? So that's exactly the point I would make on that, is maybe eliminating that first piece of that message, because it's not going to pass the so what. You're trying to reach out to me, so what, right? What's in it for me? If you say that out loud and it's not passing that, you might want to restructure your messaging and see if there's a better place to put that ask in.
Yeah, and I'm looking, I just scrolled down a little bit to later in the email where it says, if increasing your clients' online reviews, I'm getting that little green thing that says I did something wrong grammatically. I don't know if you're supposed to put in like an apostrophe or something like that, or your clients there's something's messed up that's telling me. But anyways, this is a really good value statement. I mean, like if I was working at an agency and somebody said, hey, I think, that's pressing a pain point for me. I want to increase my client online reviews, in order to get more, exposure out there in the marketplace. So wouldn't you want to like slam them with that message right at the upfront so you could answer that? So what?
I believe so. Right. And maybe you can lead this messaging with, some way of actually realizing that they are responsible for online reviews. I mean, this email in the first place, they're looking for the appropriate person. I think this is part of that place where research can come in ahead of time and try to take your best guess that you might be the right person in the first place. So is there a role or a title within an organization who typically manages online reviews for the agency? And then start there, right? Based on a little bit of research I've done, it looks like you might manage online reviews if increasing your clients' online reviews and spending less time doing it is interesting to you. Would like to, talk a little bit further. I'm Bob. I started this company to solve this problem. Do you have time? Do you have time this week to talk about that? So
right. So start with the so what. Put it right up at the beginning before, and establish that value right at the beginning, and assume that you're talking to the right person, and then put in, oh, by the way, if you're not the right person, hey, can you point me in the right direction? Because you still need to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone's going to have their perspective there, of course. But yeah, that's what I would say. In this one, the messaging isn't bad. If we're going to break this down, I think that the restructuring of that to build it back up is kind of starting with the why you, and then the why you now with where the messaging is there. If you want to put in a little bit of introduction, you can start with that, but that's how I'd build that one back up. Yeah.
Because, the old saying is everyone's favorite radio station is WIIFM. WIIFM. What's in it for me? They want to know that immediately. So if something pops up and you're like, oh yeah, I actually do need that, then you're going to reply faster than, oh, there's somebody else is asking me for something. Screw that. Delete. I don't want to go out and solve everybody's problem for them. I want somebody to come and help me solve mine. So you got to start with that right at the beginning. And Ryan, I just brought up the next one in that review, cadence. I think it's important. This is the next one that came up. Hey, I wanted to follow up. Now this, for everyone's context, is the next one in the cadence. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. And we put this one in here. There's a couple of reasons why, to try to help break down their, not just individual messaging, but their delivery of their story across multiple touches. But let's go ahead and read it again. It looked like there's a comment about going back up real quick to the first email.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that real quick for the folks in the session? Just make sure they're getting what they see here. Just for a sec. Boom.
Sure.
Done. Look at how interactive this is today, David. I like it.
The comments are popping up, and it's like I'm sharing my screen, so it's really hard to read the comments at the same time. So I see that there's a bunch of comments. Can you read them, or do I need to unshare the screen and go back and read them?
For me or for them? Sorry.
For the comments that are coming in right now.
I've got the little comment bar on the side,
cool.
So
okay.
That's where I saw that one. So we're good.
Cool. So everyone's good for now. So, okay, so we're going back through. That's the first one. Here's the second one that comes in. The subject line, how do you handle reviews? And then It's like, hey, I wanted to follow up. So what do we do with this?
Yeah, let's read this one, and then let's get into breaking it down. So,
okay.
How do you handle reviews? Hi, first name. Great. So now they're doing the personalization. That's great. I wanted to follow up. We all know online reviews are important, and I'm curious how, again, personalization, insert their company name, currently handles online reviews for your clients. I know this might not be your direct responsibility, so if not, could you introduce me to the best person? We have an easy-to-use software that can help your agency quickly generate reviews for clients. It'll also makes managing all of the different reviews profiles simple. Let me know if we can speak or if it's better to do so with one of your colleagues. Thanks for helping out, Bob. Great. So let's pull this one back up and let's break it down.
Yeah.
So the first thing I see is that I wanted to follow up. Now, there are conflicting messages out there, but this is what I tell my students. We never reference a failed attempt, follow-up, a checking in, circling back, whatever it might be. No one cares. Again, so what? I don't care I don't care if we're following up, right? There's nothing in there for me, right? So what? Who cares about it, right? Okay. So let's just eliminate the following up, the checking in, the touching base. These are not things that we do. What we do is we try to deliver value. And by the way, this is only the second potential touch that we're delivering to this individual who knows nothing about you. So let's eliminate that piece. Now, what I like about this, which is different than the first email, is this might actually be a better version of the first email, right? So how do you handle online reviews? That's a good subject line. Like that might, if I handle online reviews, I might click into that. I might be interested. How am I doing that? Someone's maybe providing value. We all know online reviews are important. Yeah, they're important. I'm curious how you currently handle them. So you started with, we know it's important, but you're getting right into how are they handling them. We might want to we have an easy software, that actually does this, and pull that in there. We all know it's important. We've created this software that makes it easy. Now there's a couple things in here we want to improve in terms of grammar. So feedback here might be pull your messaging into Word, or use a tool like Grammarly to check, to make sure that we're writing correctly. And I'm a huge proponent of these solutions because I'm terrible at grammar. I studied math and engineering, so I don't say things correctly all the time, and my messaging is not always perfect. So again, reading out loud, putting into a tool like this to check our grammar, and then actually going through it a few times, maybe even asking someone to look at it if we're going to use these as templates before we go live with them. So yeah. So as I break this down, I think, hey, you're leading with a question, how are you doing it? That's going to be our story, but we still need to restructure this a little bit because we want to get the value up front, right? You're going right into the ask again right away. How are you currently? Well, I don't really know what you do yet. So why are you asking me how am I managing this? Let me know a little bit more information about, why you now, or what's in it for me before you get into that ask. I'm curious, David, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. I mean, again, you're starting right at the upfront with what you need in the email. And that's, you got to understand the person that you're approaching is being approached by internal people who need things, people from their family need things, people from the community need things. They've got a list of people who are knocking on their door saying, I need something, like, give me something. And the easiest thing to do when you get the email with another, I need something from you is, okay, am I going to get in trouble for this, or am I going to make some money from this? You look at it and you go, okay, this is neither. It's something about reviews. Gone. Spam. Delete, right? So again, make it about, what's in it for them right from the beginning. And that's by doing your research on who you're contacting here. What are their 2 or 3 things that would really move the needle for them, either to keep them out of trouble or to potentially make them some money, and put it right in the first paragraph.
Yeah, I would agree there. Yeah. So there's a couple more questions coming through here, or at least some comments. Tito freaking out here. These are templates that folks have sent out, so it wouldn't be sent with the dynamic insertion. The folks who are looking for a review are getting feedback on what we think of their initial flow here. So these aren't messaging that actually went out. So this particular user was actually crafting some messaging. It hasn't gone live yet, so it was perfect timing for us to give them some feedback during this session. So that's where that's coming from. So folks, don't freak out. This was not somebody sending out without any checking beforehand. So you're aware of the background there. Okay,
cool. So why don't we attempt to bring in a voicemail, Ryan, that we can listen to and look for some of the good points and some stuff to work on in this. And let me know if you can hear this okay. I'll go ahead and play it.
Hi, I sent the message over the other day and wanted to get your direction. We have a cloud platform that helps businesses manage and improve their brand and presence online. And I was wondering if you handle that part of marketing, or if you have somebody who does that for you. Let me know if I'm in the right spot. When you have a moment, call me, 7060. Thanks.
Okay, and I know a comment just came in, Ryan. Can everybody hear that okay on the call? Are there any comments coming in that they couldn't hear it for some reason?
I see one we can hear. So hopefully
Okay.
everyone can hear that now.
Yeah, let's go back and listen to it one more time.
Loud and clear. Great. Yeah, let's do it one more time.
Cool, cool.
Hi, I sent the message over the other day and wanted to get your direction. We have a cloud platform that helps businesses manage and improve their brand and presence online. And I was wondering if you handle that part of marketing or if you have somebody who does that for you. Let me know if I'm in the right spot. When you have a moment, call me 7060. Thanks.
Okay, so it looks like he sent over something and wanted to see if the guy had a chance to look at it or he could point him in the right direction. Is that what you got from that?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, and it goes in the lines of the appropriate person hypothesis here. So, there's something about this strategy that I'm curious to hear your feedback on, David, because there's some conflicting views depending on who you talk to. And it goes back to what I said before, referencing another attempt. Is it best practices, in your opinion, to reference the fact that you've sent something over and now you're attempting them on a call, and this is the voicemail? Or do you prefer not to reference that and do some other form of leaving that message over the voicemail?
No, I don't think that it adds much value. And it tells them that, you keep reaching out and the person's not responding. What good does that do with building trust and moving the relationship forward? I would just keep focusing on the 2 or 3 things that you think will actually move them off the fence. And again, are you going to make them some money? Are you going to keep them out of trouble? How are you going to improve their life, make it better, make them more efficient, whatever you're going to do to improve their situation? I would just keep hammering that and not necessarily talk about what you've been doing or how many times you've called them or, are you stuck under a rock, all that stuff.
Sure. Okay. And I hear that perspective a lot. And there's actually a comment here about showing persistence. And so that's the other side of the fence, showing that, hey, I'm going to be reaching out. I've already tried you in one channel. Here's another channel. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and try you again in the future. So they're aware of the persistence element. And while I think that there's some validity on either sides of the arguments, quote unquote, what I tell people is if you want to try that, try it. The beauty of our industry is that we can always be testing. So if someone takes your mindset of I'm not delivering value, but I'm going to be super persistent and they see success, you can try it, but I err on the side of let's not reference a failed attempt. If we're going to reference an attempt, let's reference the fact that you're going to try them on another channel that might elicit a follow-up. So I deliver value proposition, to give them your number for callback and say, hey, if email's better, I'm going to go ahead and shoot that message over on email as well in case that's a quicker way to get back or when you can get back on your convenience. So either call me back here or there's that email. There's another chance to kind of reference attempts on other channels, but it's not a failed attempt. It's opening up another channel of communication that might be more convenient for them to get back to you. So that's a tactic that I've used in the past that has proven successful. But let's get back into the messaging itself.
Sure.
And it's great to hear the different perspectives here because I think, no matter what you read, everyone has their opinion on things, right? The messaging itself, you mentioned something that I think is super important. Don't tell me about not the failed attempts, but you said something about like what you did or what you have done, get into the value. In this message, he talks about what they do. They're a cloud-based system, right? I hear a lot of jargon in that messaging, and I don't hear any value. What if we take that messaging and talk about how we've helped companies like them get some sort of lift in revenue or decrease cost or eliminate risk? What's the value driver we could say in our messaging on how we're going to help them specifically and or their company accomplish some sort of positive business outcome? Because at the end of the day, no one gives a crap about what you do. They care about what types of solutions you have for the problems that they desperately are trying to solve.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that I think, get away from is everyone's trying to solve problems. Everyone's got a lot of problems that they're trying to solve out there. There's no end to the problems. And, one thing that you made me think of, Ryan, is especially if you're working with any of the other competitors in their space, if someone called me up and said, hey, competitor X, who I'm always thinking about, is using us to achieve, X lift, that's going to have a lot more of an impact than just like, hey, our system's cloud-based, it's compatible, it's bits and bytes and all this stuff that I really don't give a shit about.
Yeah. That whole the feature piece, especially for earlier stage sales development reps, you go through product training, you're super excited, you got certified on demo. We want to talk about all the great things that we do. I hate to say it to you. No one gives a shit about that. They just don't, right? They want to know how you can help them solve a specific problem. So we want to take our learnings about our features and what our services provide or our product does and move it into, how it can help someone.
Exactly. And I'll give you I want to play one more. We've got about 3 minutes. This has been amazing, Ryan. I think there's definitely 2 or 3 things that people could take away. We are recording this, guys, so I'll put it up on the YouTube channel. I got one more here that I wanted to play. And Ryan, if there's any more questions or comments, we'll try to squeeze those in at the end as well. Let's take a look at this voicemail. Tell me what you think about this.
I hope you guys pick me. This is long distance. Hey, this is 245612334. Sorry to have missed you. I'm calling today. I'd like to chat with you about inbound marketing data challenges. Is helping solve data gaps, being at top of funnel and unlocking about 40% in clients top of funnel that they were unaware of having missed. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thanks.
Okay. Did that come through okay, Ryan?
Yeah, it came through. I'm not sure what I heard though. Let's play that one more time.
Let's play that one more time. And the thing is about this, like, there is some value in this message. I mean, that's what's amazing about this. So listen carefully, especially toward the end.
I hope you guys pick me. This is long distance. Hey, this is 245612334. Sorry to have missed you. I'm calling today. I'd like to chat with you about inbound marketing data challenges. Is helping solve data gaps, being at top of funnel and unlocking about 40% in clients top of funnel that they were unaware of having missed. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thanks.
Okay. So really quickly, that is a huge problem that people have. The marketing department spends a lot of money to create top of the funnel, interest with the brand and going to Dreamforce and all these things. And there's a lot of leakage in the funnel, and there's a lot of value that can be unlocked there. So that part of it is interesting. But what I was trying to figure out is, why does he take so long to get to that in the message and do all that weird stuff at the beginning?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's good feedback. The underlying message here has a great framework, but this is why I'm a huge fan of scripts, right? That message should be scripted into a very concise message that doesn't have any overlap. It says precisely what it needs to say, and you practice the hell out of it so that when you're delivering this voicemail, it gets right into the problem. And it seems that message that he was delivering was from a script that he kind of read or he's trying to read, but he hasn't nailed it yet. And if he really worked through delivering that message over and over and over and over until he slept that night and he could say that in his sleep, then maybe he would deliver that in a more effective way. Now, It could also be that he was distracted, and maybe that was the whole long distance thing before the message started. So, and that's an assumption we don't know here, but the message that came through is something weird at the beginning, some sort of value in there, and then get lost because there's a lot going on there that wasn't consistent. Like the story was kind of value something else. So my feedback here is script that out, really get into the points that you're trying to make and practice the hell out of it. Keep it less than 30 seconds and deliver that right out the gate.
Yep, I agree. You got to kind of hit them over the head. I mean, we're in a war for attention. And if you mess around with the first 5 seconds, I think Mike Doloff put a question up here. You know, he says, I generally delete voicemails in 4 to 8 seconds if you don't grab their attention. So you got to slam them with the, data points that you want to get across as far as the value prop, and then do the rest of it. Ryan, this is the first time we've done this. A half an hour is super short. We are up against the half an hour. I think that folks get a ton of value from here. I'll go through all the questions. We are recording this. We'll go ahead and post it, and maybe we'll make the next one a little bit longer so that if people do want to hang on, they can. But Ryan, I think, just to summarize, read your emails, make sure that you can answer that so what right at the beginning, and make that crisp and clear from the get-go so that you don't lose people. Ryan, any parting words of wisdom for the group today?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we all have the best interests at heart for our customers, right? And we try to, but in today's digital world, they have this like time, immediacy thing. We want to speed through getting something out before taking the time to perfect it a bit. So my parting wisdom here is slow down to speed up a bit. Take some time to really perfect the story that you're trying to deliver across these different channels, whether it's phone, email, social, voicemail. Practice, nail it so that you're prepared for that moment of truth. When you get that opportunity to catch someone live, when you're leaving that voicemail, when you're following up on email, your messaging is consistent, it makes sense, and there's value right out the gate. So, slow down, and it will help accelerate your velocity over time. Very
good. Well, Ryan, thanks again. Really appreciate it. If folks want to get in touch with you, how do they contact you?
Go to my LinkedIn profile. My cell phone number is right there. Call me anytime. There's also a link to my Calendly, believe it or not. People can book meetings with me anytime they want. My email is also ryan@salesbootcamp.com. We also have a Slack community you should join. If you're not in there, you can direct message me there. I'm all over the place. If you want to reach me, it's fairly easy.
Very good. Okay, well, let's tell you what. Let's do this again. We'll extend it out if folks want to jump on. I just want to thank everybody for taking a little time at the lunch break today. We're going to go through all the questions and comments, get back in touch with you. Ryan, thanks again. Everybody, have a great day.
Yeah, great. Cheers.